In the Philippines, a new U.S.-built military runway is taking shape, a bold move in the Indo-Pacific chess match. This project is more than just a strip of concrete. It's a symbol of shifting power dynamics in the region, and a clear signal that the U.S. is investing in its presence here for the long haul. This isn't just construction, it's a direct response to China's assertiveness in the South China Sea. The U.S. and the Philippines are working side by side, transforming this once quiet airbase into a strategic hub, designed to counter growing regional threats and reassure allies. The runway, part of the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, lets the U.S. pre-position forces and assets at key Philippine bases. This means American troops, aircraft, and equipment can be rapidly deployed in times of crisis, strengthening the region's security architecture. It's built for everything from C-17 cargo planes to F-35 fighter jets, giving the U.S. rapid response capability in a tense region. The runway's length and strength allow for the heaviest and most advanced aircraft, making it a vital asset for both humanitarian missions and military operations. As China expands its military footprint with artificial islands and missile bases, this American runway is a countermove, projecting power and signaling commitment to the Philippines. It's a visible reminder that the U.S. is willing to match China's ambitions, step for step, in this contested region. The alliance is stronger than it's been in years, driven by shared concerns over China's actions. Joint exercises, intelligence sharing, and infrastructure projects like this runway are deepening military ties and building trust between the two nations. This runway is a physical sign. The U.S. is back in the Philippines, ready to defend its ally and uphold international law. It's a message not just to Manila but to the entire region, that America's commitment is real and enduring. The message to Beijing is unmistakable. America is here to stay. The presence of U.S. forces on Philippine soil is a powerful deterrent and a reassurance to other nations watching from the sidelines. Every yard of concrete is a challenge to China's ambitions. Each new section laid down is a statement of intent, reinforcing the U.S. commitment to a free and open Indo-Pacific. The strategic landscape in Asia is shifting, one runway at a time. As the concrete dries, so too does a new era of security cooperation, reshaping the balance of power across the region. The runway's location is no accident. It's positioned at the doorstep of the contested South China Sea, a region where tensions simmer and the stakes are high for all involved. By being so close, U.S. forces can slash response times, launching aircraft and support missions in a fraction of the time it would take from distant bases. Instead of launching from far-off locations, American aircraft can now reach key maritime routes and potential flashpoints in mere minutes, not hours. This rapid access is a game-changer, dramatically boosting surveillance capabilities and strengthening deterrence against any aggressive moves by China. The base sits within the first island chain, a critical barrier in Pacific strategy, forming the front line of defense and influence in the region. For China, this chain is a bottleneck, an obstacle to projecting power outward into the Pacific and beyond. For the U.S. and its allies, it's a vital point of control, a place where strategy and geography intersect. The new runway strengthens this chain, making it significantly harder for China to operate freely or move forces undetected through these waters. U.S. and Philippine forces can now monitor one of the world's busiest waterways, a corridor rich in trade, energy, and vital resources. Persistent surveillance exposes illegal activities from unregulated fishing to gray zone tactics, and helps prevent dangerous miscalculations that could spark conflict. The real value here is speed and access, giving the U.S. a resilient forward base that can support rapid deployments and humanitarian missions alike. In any crisis, the ability to deploy air power quickly could be decisive, shaping outcomes before situations spiral out of control. The U.S. is no longer a distant power but a present, capable partner, standing shoulder to shoulder with the Philippines and other allies. This runway tips the balance, giving allies a home field advantage and a platform for joint operations, training, and rapid response. In the Indo-Pacific, every second and every mile matter, and with this strategic runway, the alliance is ready to meet the challenge. This runway is just one piece of a sweeping U.S. strategy across the Indo-Pacific, a region that has become the epicenter of 21st century power competition. Washington is building a vast network of bases, alliances, and advanced military technology to counter China's rapid rise and assertiveness. The U.S. is investing billions to modernize its presence, ensuring it can respond quickly to any crisis. The goal is clear: a distributed, resilient force that deters aggression, reassures allies, and keeps vital sea lanes open for all nations. The Philippines is a cornerstone, but the U.S. is also deepening ties with Japan, Australia, South Korea, and India, forging a web of partnerships that stretches across the region. Joint exercises, intelligence sharing, and force rotations are all ramping up, building trust and interoperability among allies. These efforts send a powerful signal of collective resolve. The message is unmistakable. United allies stand ready to respond to any threat, projecting strength and solidarity in the face of uncertainty. Each new base, patrol, and shared operation raises the cost of aggression for China, making it clear that any attempt to change the status quo by force will be met with resistance. The U.S. aims to prevent any single power from dominating the Indo-Pacific, preserving a balance that benefits all. Freedom of navigation, peaceful dispute resolution, and respect for international law are at stake, principles that underpin global stability and prosperity. China's expansive claims and growing military presence challenge these principles, fueling tensions and uncertainty. The Runway is one move in a long-term contest for influence and security, a symbol of America's enduring commitment to the region. The U.S. is determined to secure its interests and support its allies for decades to come, adapting to new challenges as they arise. The Indo-Pacific chessboard is set, and every move counts in this high-stakes game of strategy and influence. As rivalries sharpen and ambitions grow, the competition is only intensifying, shaping the future of the world's most dynamic region. The Runway is just the start. U.S. military buildup in the Philippines is accelerating. The Typhoon missile system, capable of striking ships and aircraft hundreds of miles away, is now deployed in Southeast Asia for the first time. Joint U.S. Philippine exercises like Balikatan have grown, simulating high-end combat and island defense. These drills build readiness and ensure seamless cooperation in a crisis. U.S. surveillance planes and drones now operate regularly from Philippine bases, tracking Chinese activity in real time. A new intelligence-sharing pact and plans for a joint command center deepen operational ties. This combination of advanced weapons, training, and intelligence is a formidable show of force. The message to China: any aggression will face a united, highly capable alliance. The goal isn't provocation, it's deterrence. The U.S.-Philippine partnership is now a powerful bulwark in the region. The South China Sea is a flashpoint, with China at the center of rising tensions. Beijing claims nearly the entire sea, building artificial islands and militarizing them with runways and missile systems. These outposts let China project power far from its shores. Chinese Coast Guard and maritime militia have harassed Philippine vessels, using water cannons and dangerous maneuvers. These actions are part of a deliberate strategy to intimidate neighbors and assert control. An international tribunal ruled against China's claims, but Beijing rejected the decision and pressed on. The U.S. has responded by reaffirming its defense commitments to the Philippines. China, in turn, condemns the U.S. presence as destabilizing and conducts its own military drills. The risk of miscalculation is ever present in these crowded, contested waters. For the Philippines, the U.S. alliance is both a shield and a gamble. American support boosts defense and confidence in standing up to China. U.S. projects bring jobs, aid, and disaster relief, benefiting local communities. But closer ties with Washington risk economic fallout. China is the Philippines' top trading partner. Tensions could mean lost investment and tourism. There's also a deep concern about sovereignty and dependence on foreign troops. The country faces a tough choice: security with the U.S. or economic stability with China. A tragic U.S. plane crash in 2025 underscored the real risks of this partnership. The Philippines must weigh security promises against the cost to its independence and prosperity. The stakes in the South China Sea go far beyond Asia. One-third of global maritime trade, trillions of dollars, flows through these waters. Any conflict here could trigger a worldwide economic crisis, disrupting supply chains and spiking prices everywhere. The dispute is also a test of the international order. Will rules or raw power decide the seas? The U.S. and allies defend a rules-based system. China's actions challenge it. How this standoff ends will set a precedent for decades. European and regional powers are sending ships and deepening security ties. The outcome will shape global trade, security, and the principles that govern nations. The world is watching, because everyone has something at stake. The new U.S. runway in the Philippines marks a turning point in the U.S.-China rivalry. It's a clear signal of American resolve and a security boost for Manila, but it also raises the stakes. The buildup is meant to deter China, but the risk of miscalculation is real. with warships and aircraft operating in close quarters. Both sides are testing each other's limits, and the U.S. Philippines defense treaty could turn a clash into a wider conflict. This is a contest of visions, a free, law-based Asia versus a region dominated by China. The runway is more than infrastructure, it's a symbol of this struggle. True security, though, depends on diplomacy and restraint. The challenge is to compete without catastrophe. The world hopes this runway becomes a foundation for peace, not a path to war. The future of the region, and perhaps the world, hangs in the balance.